Stay tuned for Airgun Detectives.
Welcome to another episode of Airgun Detectives. I'm your host, JC, and today our Rare and Unusual series continues. And what that is once a month I will feature a new video which will show you maybe a rare gun that's no longer manufactured anymore, a rare air gun, or we might show you one that maybe still is manufactured but it's unusual. Or we might show you one that is rare, no longer manufactures, and really unusual. So anyway, just for fun, I'm going to show you something different every month. Did it all last year and continuing through this year because we have plenty of rare and unusual air guns, that's for sure. But before we get started on this, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button down in the corner. It doesn't cost you anything. It's absolutely free, but it really helps support the channel. And also check out my website, www.airgundetectives.com. On that site, got various t-shirts. I've got hats, Generation 2 bipods. For those of you guys who have brake barrels, gammo brake barrels rather, that have the cat triggers, I got the trigger screw kits for them, which will actually turn your trigger into a match grade trigger. It really will. At below cost of $10. So you can't beat that. Anyway, let's get back to the subject on hand. Today we're going to take the mystery out of the Umarex Fuel. They made these both in .177 and .22 caliber. This one is actually in .177 caliber. What is an Umarex Fuel? This is a brake barrel. This is a brake barrel that's no longer manufactured. And full disclosure, I completely upgraded this one. This had the Reaxis gas piston in it. It failed on me. So I replaced it. Believe it or not, I replaced it with a nitro gas piston and it dropped right in. I also upgraded the trigger, polished that, added a duck bill to it. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. And then fully tuned the rifle. So this is actually not quite the performer it is out of the box, or it was out of the box. It's definitely improved, but we'll show you what a tune and the things that I did can actually do to a lesser expensive brake barrel rifle. So anyway, so this does have a synthetic stock. The gun's not light, it's about 8 pounds. It's 45 inches overall. It's got an 18 3/4 inch barrel. You got fiber optic sights in the front and the back. So those you like to shoot open sights, these are great. So you got the green obviously in the back, and then you have the orange or red in the front. Solid stock though. This thing is, it's hard as a rock. It really is. It does have their silence air suppressor that works really good. It really does. This comes with the little 6-inch bipods. These rotate up and down. They're okay. They'll get you by. Many times I thought I'm going to pop those off there and throw some of my rails on there and put my bipods on because it would be a much, much more stable platform. But these do get you by, that's for sure. The cocking effort on this, even though I changed to the nitro piston, is still about the same. It's about a 30-pound cocking effort, so it's not bad. The gun's, it's actually a pretty good gun overall, but I want to show you the actual performance, and then we can come back and we can kind of talk about it. And another reason I like to do this, if you guys come across one of these or eBay or what have you, maybe you find a used one or one's in really good condition, then I can show you the potential. So anyway, let's stay tuned for the next segment and go check out the performance. Okay, let's test out our Umarex Fuel over the Corona. As I kind of touched on before, this is fully tuned and upgraded with the nitro piston. So this actually is quite the performer. I'm kind of excited to show you guys all the different performance levels. So let's just shoot 5 shots over the Crony, see how well we do. This is a H&N. This is their final match pellet. It's a 8.18 grain. So we're going to shoot at 8.18 grain. We'll shoot 5 shots over the Crony, see how we make up. All right, shot number 1. 990. All right. Shot number 2. $9.95. Shot number 3. $9.91. Easy cocking effort too. Really is. All right, this is I believe number 4. $9.93. got a pretty low standard deviation there too. All right, and our final shot, shot number 5. .987. Well, actually, that performs quite well. You can see that, pretty good velocity. But that nitro tube piston is just really solid in here. It really is. Okay, hey, let's move on to the next segment. All right, let's see how our fuel does as far as some accuracy test goes. We're going to use the Barracuda Match, the 10.65. This does good with their 9.57s, 10.65s. It really likes these. It's not overly pellet picky, but these are just exceptional. So the 10.65 Barracudas. We're going to be shooting our 4-inch splatterburst as usual. And we're our normal 20 yards, our break barrel distance. Just gives me a good idea as far as grouping goes. Go ahead and check that out real quick. All right, let's just shoot 5 shots. See how we make out here. All right. Remember, we're going for grouping. Doesn't have to hit perfectly in the dead center, but we're just going for grouping. All right. So, shot number 1. Not too shabby. Bottom end of that red there. Okay. Shot number 2. I'll take that every time. Shot number 3. This trigger is just really sensational on this rifle. Shot number 4. And one more. Notice I'm not commenting on this group here. But let's see if we can do one more swish right here and stack these babies up. All right, one more. That's a heck of a group. Yeah, I got this rifle tuned really well. It's got that consistent velocity, standard low deviation, so it gets a good accuracy there, that's for sure. Anyway, that's how our fuel did. Let's move on to the next segment. All right, we're going to test the pull weight on our Umarex Fuel, but this is no way a stock trigger. I totally upgraded this trigger. It has a whole new duck bell in there. It's been polished. So let's see what type of performance we get out of it. We got our trusty Lyman trigger gauge. Get this reset. And let's check our pull weight here. All right, 2 pounds, 1 ounce. 2 pounds, 1.1 ounce. Yeah, I got this trigger definitely dialed in. It's a great, great rifle right now, that's for sure. All right, let's move on to the next segment. Let's do a little plinking. Always my favorite part, because I get to shoot things. Anyway, what we're going to use with our Umarex Fuel here is these Barracuda matches. These are the 10.65, a little farther distance, plus we're going to be shooting some steel targets, so I wanted a little heavier pellet. But this does well, as I said before, with those 9.57s as well. Anyway, we're your usual plinking distance as far as the break barrels go or what have you. We're 40 yards back. Go ahead and check that out real quick. You can see what we're shooting at. Just some steel targets, little eggs, little pipe, and a ram. So let's knock those out. Again, our Barracuda match. We'll start from the right side and we'll work our way left. Let's start with the big ram. All right. Gotta like it. Oh yeah. Put that baby down. And let's do our first steel egg. Yes. Gotta like it. And our next steel egg. Got it. And how about the third egg? All right. Love it. Last but not least, that little pipe. Yeah, I'm just trying to get this shooting in before it gets dark here. Get this knocked out, but we can still see. All right, a little pipe. And you gotta like it. I love Plinking. Yeah, this thing is pretty accurate, that's for sure. Anyway, let's move on to the next segment. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. Let's wrap this up with our conclusion. Yeah, we almost didn't get that Plinking session in. It's starting to get dark, but fortunately we slid in and got that completed. So overall, how was the performance? Really, really good. But I didn't expect anything less because this is a fully tuned, upgraded rifle. So it was a great performer. It really was. You know, some of the negatives out of the box on this thing would have been like the trigger. The trigger on these were just horrible. Really heavy. And there's several Umarex Breakbarrel models that share this same trigger. The Octane was the same trigger. Just brutal. Brutal. But this one has definitely been upgraded now, so it's actually quite the performer. Another negative on this thing was that Reaxis gas piston. It's the only one I ever had, but it failed on me. And fortunately, the nitro piston was just a drop-in. Didn't have to do any modifications, and that was just a fluke. Just dropped it in. We also, as I mentioned earlier, upgraded the trigger. There's a guy years ago that used to make these custom duck bills to go in there, and you take the trigger assembly apart, you slide in that duck bill, polish everything up, and whoa, turns these into a match trigger. So the trigger is terrific on this rifle. These little bipods that come with it, you know, a little built-in, they get you by. That's all I'm going to say. Again, I think I mentioned this earlier. Thinking about I could put my rails on this and simply upgrade it with my bipods, which would give you even a much more solid platform as far as shooting. But overall, this rifle did really good. I mean, what did you guys think of the accuracy? I thought the accuracy was really good. It really likes, it's not overly pellet picky, but it really likes that 9 to 10 grain pellet, you know, because this thing is pumping out some pretty doggone good velocity. It really is. Especially for, you know, a 177 even. And still, it has that good cocking effort. It only has that 30-pound cocking effort, so you gotta like it. You know, another thing I like about this is the suppressor on this. That actually does a really good job. Makes it nice and quiet, really backyard friendly. So you can shoot that all day. Light cocking effort, 30 pounds, and then the suppressor, which keeps it really quiet. And I do like the option of having open sights. Me, I'm not a big open sight guy anymore because my eyes aren't that good, but these are really nice sight picture with that red and green. So it's a really nice contrast. I'm sure you guys have seen that before. So overall, it's a fun rifle now. It really is. And again, I like to give you guys this opportunity because if you happen to see one on eBay or what have you, you can see what actually goes into as far as you know, upgrading it or being able to set it up. And it's good to know that you can replace it with those nitro gas pistons without any alteration whatsoever. So if you guys have one of these and it failed on you, call up Crossman, order one of those. The original nitro gas piston, and I believe they're the 25 millimeter ones. Anyway, overall, really don't like to rate these guns because it's kind of pointless, but I'm going to. Out of the box, I would have given this maybe 3 1/4, 3.5 stars. That heavy trigger, I just did not like it at all. Now it's a whole different story. You guys see how this thing performs. We've got our upgraded piston. We've got a full tune job done to it, the trigger, the whole bit. So now it's pushing that 5-star edge as far as performance goes. You guys saw it. You witnessed it. Yeah, so it's a pretty good rifle right now. So anyway, a little bit more. The Rare and Unusual series is going to continue. Once again, I will either show you a rare gun, in other words, it's no longer manufactured, or an unusual gun that could be manufactured and could also not be manufactured. It just might be really unusual of an air gun. So I'm going to keep this series going until we run out, and it doesn't seem like that's going to be anytime soon. So once a month, you're going to get this episode. And it's just for fun, just to mix things up and have something just a little bit different. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Airgun Detectives. Don't forget, it's where we take the mystery out of the air gun. Until next time, I hope you and the family are doing well, and you're getting plenty of shooting in. It's always fun. Just shoot, shoot, shoot. Remember, practice makes perfect. Not so much perfect, but it'll definitely improve your skills, that's for sure. So until next time, hey, take care and God bless.